All right, so this is like introducing conic sections, and then the very first conic section we're gonna talk about are parabolas. So a conic section is formed by it's called a double napped cone. So it's just two cones that are like on top of each other and slicing it with a plane. So a plane is like a piece of paper. And it forms four different conic sections. And so we have the parabola, which is like kind of diagonally at the top or the bottom, a circle, which is horizontal slice, an ellipse, which is a diagonal slice that goes out the sides of the cone, and then the hyperbola that goes straight through both cones. And we're going to talk about all of these except the circle because we've already talked about circles. So anyway, there are going to be two types of parabolas. Now, we talked about parabolas already when we were talking about quadratic functions. This is going to be slightly different form. It's still a parabola just like before. It's going to be written in a different way. And so the two types of parabolas are vertically opening. That's a weird word. And horizontally opening. All right. And then the standard equation of a parabola when we're talking about it in terms of a conic section is a little different than when we were doing the quadratic one. So anyway, we have two different types. So the first type, the x is what's being squared, and then the second type, the y, is what's being squared. And on both types, to find the vertex, you're going to take the x part of the vertex out of the parentheses with the x. So whatever is being subtracted from x is the x part of the vertex. And then whatever is being subtracted from y is the y part of the vertex. So that should seem kind of familiar, especially with what we've done with circles. All right, and then whenever the x is what's being squared, it's going to be one of the normal parabolas we've learned about before. It's going to either open upward or downward. So the thing that determines the direction of opening is the c. So whatever is in front. So if that c is greater than 0, the parabola is going to open upward. And then if that c is less than 0, the parabola opens downward. And then the other parabolas that I don't think you've learned about before are the sideways opening parabolas. And this comes up occasionally, rarely in calculus. I can only think of one time where we've had to do a problem in calculus where it opens sideways. Anyway, so if the y is being squared, it is going to open either left or right. But to find the vertex, we're going to do the same thing. The x part of the vertex is what's being subtracted from x. And the y part is what's being subtracted from y. Okay. And then when c is positive. So if c is positive, and this one is either going to open left or right, which direction do you think would be the positive direction? Right. Because that's where the positive numbers are, to the right, +2. When c is negative, it opens left.
Bless you.
She's blessed. We're all blessed. Okay, so here we go. This is what you guys are going to do for your assignment also. You're going to look at each equation, and then you're going to determine the vertex, direction of opening, and then match it with the graph. All right, so what do y'all think on the vertex on number 1?
3. Just 3. Negative 3.
3, 2 is right a long time ago.
If it was like, if we said x + 2, it would be negative.
Yes. So if it is subtraction, it's like with the circles. If it's subtraction, you're subtracting a positive it's addition, you're subtracting a negative. So you change the sign. When you pull it out of the parentheses, you change the sign. All right, what about the direction of opening? Left. All right, so look at your graphs. What do y'all think? That's gonna be D. See, y'all are complaining about nothing. All right, what about, hey, all right, so for 2, what do you guys think about the vertex? This one's a little more difficult. Yes. Good. So because there's a plus, we do change the sign, and then nothing is subtracted from the y, so it's 0. All right, what about direction of opening?
Upward.
Yes. And what about the graph?
C. A.
You got your order pair wrong, so it's A.
Let's go to the back.
All right, so the back is yours.
Yay!
The back
Like
is
that we wouldn't have